Hey, it's Joe Amoia, your ambassador for love. In our last video, we talked about how you can own your power. The things you need to do to create that kind of relationship that you're really looking for. And we got a lot of feedback. Questions such as, Joe, I know I'm not owning my power. I know I'm not doing the things I'm supposed to be doing. What can I do? What are the actual steps? Well, if those questions went through your mind, you're going to love this video because that's what this is about. How you can own your power, the specific steps and strategies, the things that you can do to stand in your power and create the kind of relationship that you're really looking for. So I'm going to give you three, okay? The first one is you got to let go of the past. And for some of you, this is the most difficult thing. There's some stuff that happens, and I'm not saying that stuff that happened isn't shitty. There's been some crap that's really happened. You've been burned, you've been hurt, or maybe even worse. But what you've got to realize is holding on to that past, holding on to that hurt is costing you so much more in your life going forward. One of the biggest challenges in creating a relationship and having a healthy and fulfilling relationship is you got to be vulnerable. You got to take that leap of faith. You got to take that risk. And for some of you, that's scary as hell. But here's the conundrum. Here's the challenge, is you can never get to where you want to go if you don't take that leap. So step number one is you got to let go of the past. And if you're having trouble doing that, find someone who's trained who can help you do that. Because here's the thing, it's really not as difficult as you think. You simply have to be willing to want to let go and understand why you're holding on, because there's a reason why. There's a payoff to holding on to the past. It keeps us safe. It keeps us protected. It keeps us from putting ourselves out there. So step one, you got to let go of your past. Step two, this is a big one I see all the time with the members of our community, is you got to have clear boundaries. You got to know what you will and will not tolerate. And here's the second most important part of that, is you got to stick to them. How many times in your life you say, that's it, I'm done. It's over. I deserve better. And what do? You go back, or you let him back, right? Now, I'm not here pointing fingers. I did that for 3 years. That's it. I'm done. I deserve better. And boop. Oh, baby, I'm sorry. Let's try and work this out. Okay, go back. It was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It doesn't work. Okay. So you got to have clear boundaries, and then you stick to them. And the amazing thing is when you stick to them, things start to change in your reality. When I started getting clear on my boundaries and I was crystal clear on what I would and would not tolerate, man, life just became so much easier. The whole dating and relationship thing became so much easier. Doesn't mean that there wasn't drama, there wasn't bullshit. It's just you're just like, I'm not going to tolerate it anymore. And then you're done. You wash your hands and you move on. So step number two is you got to have clear boundaries, crystal clear boundaries, and you got to stick to them. You got to hold them. And here's the third step. And this sometimes is the most difficult one. And that's what I call is be tenacious. You have to think of it like a baby learning to walk. Okay, you're going to fall down and you get back up. You're going to fall down, you're going to get back. You're going to fall down hundreds of times. But what happens when you finally learn how to walk? What happens? You're done. You've done the work. You've achieved what you wanted to achieve. Now it's continuing to walk, continuing to move forward. Well, that's how it works if you're going to own your power. You've got to be tenacious. You've got to keep doing it until it clicks, because once you own it, once it clicks in, you're good to go. And so I believe in something called the law of Goya. Now, you may or may not heard of the law of Goya, and it stands for the law of Goya, which stands for get off your ass. Okay? I truly believe God helps those who help themselves. Okay? No one can do your push-ups for you. The reason why successful people are successful in anything, whether it's their relationship, it's their finances, it's their career, their level of fitness, it's because they're tenacious. They don't give up, and they keep going until they succeed. And it's really difficult because you get burned, you get hurt, but you can't take it personal. You got to use those as learning lessons, stepping stones, taking you closer to where you want to go. So what you also realize is that you've got to stop thinking about things. Okay? You just got to start living. It's what I call do you. Just do your life. Be the best you that you can be. And if things aren't working, simply see what you need to do, what you need to learn to make things better, to make things different. And if you look at life that way and you meet this stuff head on, yeah, you might experience some tears, some frustrations. You might have to deal with some stuff that's uncomfortable. But that's how you grow. That's how you create amazing, amazing things in your life. And I know that you can have exactly the kind of relationship that you're looking for if you show up and first and foremost own your power. Because I'll tell you this from the perspective of a guy. When we come across a woman who stands in her power, who owns her power, not that she's better than anybody else, but she understands that she's a special, wonderful woman and that she's unique, that's what's really attractive. That's what we want to commit to. And that's what we'll have no problem committing to if it's the right woman. So I know I threw a lot at you. This is probably one of those videos you're going to have to go watch a couple of times, maybe take some notes. But I promise you, if you follow these three steps, amazing, amazing things are going to start to happen. As always, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your feedback and any questions you may have. It's an honor and privilege to be with you here today. I'll see you next time. God bless.